All right. So this is just what's it called? This is like a. I'm pretty sure the title of this will be something about updates and something about updates, and then also about art. Because my original prime was to like share some of the things I've drawn in the past, but I also use this opportunity to this, of course, talk about whatever I want, and um, also share some updates on the channel because I kind of haven't done that. I wanted to put something out. Make sure you stay hydrated. I wanted to put something out while I haven't uploaded in a minute. That was mostly because I've been sick. Well, not crazy sick. Mostly I've been busy with work, and then since I do like manual labor, from there I just kind of be too tired. Not too tired. More so I get caught up doing other things. That's perfectly fine. I wouldn't say I'm too locked in working out right now, because if it hasn't been mentioned before, I'm taking a trip next week. There'll be some videos on that. I'm taking a trip to Korea next week, so I'm not sure what working out will be like there. And the main obstacle being, the more I work out, the more clothes I'll have to take with me. So I kind of have to figure out how I'm gonna do that. So I plan on working out 4 times in a week, and I have to have 4 different clothes I'm gonna wear, and then I have to wash them there. So, but if I want to work out 6 times out of the week, then I'll have to have 6 different outfits, and that's just more stuff I gotta pack. So that's something I have to take into consideration. But maybe I'm overthinking that. But so that's part of the reason I haven't really been posting any videos. Also, I've been thinking about like switching it up. So adding more like live streams. I tried live streaming like gameplay, it did not work. I need to get like a better computer slash PC. Uh, and then I tried live streaming. I did like a live stream while I was just kind of drawing. I don't think that quite worked out as well as I thought it would. I mean, right now the image is more visible than it was when I was drawing, but it was almost invisible. Like the lines were too faded or were too. See, like right there, yeah, it looked more like this, so you couldn't really see what was on the page. You can't see it now. But this is what I'm currently working on. I haven't added anything since the live stream, if it was even visible. But yeah. Uh, Aside from that, I'm getting off track. Well, no, nothing's off track. This is just me talking. Um, but yeah, that's why I hadn't really posted anything. But it's also only been 4 days, so I also understand to go from posting every day to a 4 day gap is kind of a major shift. But at the same time, video still did drop this week, and also that gap will probably be more reflective of what's to come for like the next 2.5 weeks while I'm on my trip. But also, we'll post whatever I can about Korea and all that stuff in my adventures. It'll be dubbed the Korean Crash Out, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, aside from that, in terms of updates, if you hadn't noticed already, I changed the channel name to Ola Na Ola. This is to match my Instagram handle because I just think it's a cool, funny name. But mostly I changed it because I just didn't want to do fitness. Well, I didn't want to only do fitness or focus on fitness or sell myself as just as like someone trying to be a bodybuilder. Because as much as I like put it in the hashtags, whenever I'm asked, I just say I do like bodybuilder style training, because that's kind of what I've gotten more into these days. That could always change. Like I've considered maybe doing CrossFit, maybe training for some marathons. Probably not that because I don't like running that much, but stuff like that. So it's bound to change. But of course, it's still Ola lifts, so that would still correlate with anything I lift. But at the same time, that name kind of just like segments me into fitness. When there's so much other cool stuff I do or would rather talk about. That, of course, being anime, video games, and then drawing and art. So that's kind of where that is. So I'd like to share everything, and even just random videos like this where I'm just talking and just sharing my thoughts. Like, what? Why is some random fitness guy is talking about something fitness unfit? Why is some random fitness guy talking about something not fitness related? It's a very valid question, and it's not a box or a question that I want to place myself into. Let me close this door before someone comes in. But yeah, I feel like changing the name gives me the freedom to not do whatever I want, and that's what I would prefer to do. So expect like the most randomest videos. However, I'll probably still not probably I'll still post fitness content like at least twice a week because another major issue is recording at my gym. If I want to prioritize getting my workout in, I'd have to do it before 6 p.m. And in order to record at my gym, it would have to be after 6 p.m. So that means my most productive hours are the times I'm not really working out, which isn't always a problem with me because I have a buddy who can only go out later in the day, so I have to go with him. As you've seen in the video, Max. Uh, as you've seen in the videos, Max. Sometimes I speak too fast or I don't quite enunciate my words enough. But, so to go with him, I usually go in the evenings. But probably after I come back from Korea, I'm going to lock in more. And sadly, that means recording less because it's a lot easier to get through the workout earlier in the day when I can't record. And also when I'm not recording, it's easier to work out. Just focus on getting my reps, my sets, and all that. I'll still like record like the pumps if they're looking amazing, but that's really it. So yeah, that's why I've decided to kind of shift away from just fitness stuff. But again, I'm still doing it, just not only that. So yeah, I know that's a random or a strange change. I apologize, but it's what I felt like doing, and also it'll be a lot easier to put out better content as opposed to just here's a workout every time. So because at the end of the day, the workouts get repetitive. Like there's only so much. The only real difference between each workout is either who I'm with and what we talk about. So that's really that. I think I had some other stuff. So yeah, I make videos about anime, make videos about video games. So right now I'm working on getting like a new PC so I can like stream or record gameplay. Cause I got lots of stuff I want to share and talk about, and lots of stuff I want to share and talk about. So even making shorter videos where I'm just giving my opinion on stuff, not necessarily always like relevant to the times, like sometimes they will be relative to the time. Like right now, I like not too long ago I saw an Instagram post. Let me see if I can find my phone or my other phone. Excuse me. Yeah, so I saw this Instagram post where it's about them rebooting shows. I'm gonna play a quick snippet of it, so I don't have to try and what's the word? So I don't have to try and remember what it said. I can just show you guys. My phone's catching up with all the messages I got sent. It's happening in real time. Hold on. Okay, here we go. So, it's by the account name as Movie Review Man on Instagram. So this is pretty what bro's saying.
Freaking reboots of popular shows from the 2000s? Because if there's a show you love from the 2000s, there's a good chance they're bringing it back. Just this year, and as most recently as yesterday, it was announced that they're indeed bringing back Malcolm in the Middle, being produced for Disney Plus, and it looks like the majority of the original cast is coming back to reprise their roles. But it doesn't stop here. It was announced that they're bringing back one of my favorite shows of all time in Friday Night Lights, which it looks like is being produced at Peacock. The series is going to be set in the same universe as the original, but it's going to be with completely new characters. This one I'm somewhat excited for.
Alright, that's enough. So, pretty much, that has got my brain flowing about, what's it called? About, not just about reboots, but about nostalgia. So, I feel that, so this is just one of the random topics I was talking about that I'd like to talk about. And give my thoughts. Pretty much, I feel that as consumers of media, corporations try to bait us in with things that we remember or feel familiar with. You see it happening now with like Marvel bringing back Robert Downey Jr. and whoever else they're bringing back for this new phase. And I feel that it's kind of cheap because instead of offering quality or making new stuff, they try to pass something else off and expect you to tune in because of that. And on their end, it's smart because a lot of the times people bite, right? So that's why we make live action adaptations of things. That's why they make continuous sequels. That's why they do reboots. And I just honestly believe there's no point for a lot of this stuff. Like, I understand a sequel if the story was not completed. But if the story was completed, there's no point for a sequel. Or you have to do a really good job of justifying it. Or sometimes the sequel is just a similar world, but into the future, which some people are also okay with. Me personally, I'd rather you just make something else, right? Because unless the story continuation makes sense, don't bother with it. For example, I'd give is like Avatar. So for the first, I don't know, not first season, but first series, Avatar: The Last Airbender, amazing, perfect, everything was settled. However, there was more content they could have went over, either in the past or in Team Avatar's future. What instead they did was give us a new character in almost a new world, but similar world, but a new character with similar like laws to the world in terms of like the bending and like all that stuff, and the four nations, with the fifth being the Republic, not the Republic, the can't remember what it's called, but stuff like that. Like I don't want sequels like that because, but the fact that you put the name Avatar on it, it pulls in everyone to watch it. So I don't want sequels like that. I would say an Avatar had a pretty open ending to where you could have expounded more. They had plenty of comics that could have been adapted, but instead they made something else. Which, not to say what they made was horrible, but it wasn't as good as what came before it. And that's the problem with sequels. They're always not going to be as good. So, I would only, honestly encourage a lot of these people to just make new stuff. Especially, but sequels are more forgivable because they can always be good or they can be proper continuations. Sequels are always more forgivable than reboots, or literally just bringing back. I think it's worse with live action when you bring back a cast of younger actors, age them up, and just make a new show. Then they're really just banking on the nostalgia of the past show because usually it's very different. They changed the tone, they changed everything. Like with the iCarly stuff, like this stuff's kind of weird, man. I'm sorry, and no one's watching it, and it's not getting the same recognition that the original was getting. It's just a cash grab. I feel like it's lazy and it's pointless. So, man, I'd say worse than a reboot. I don't know. Live action, adaptation, and reboot are somewhere on the same scale. A live action adaptation especially for anime, which is like my main thing, it's usually just bad because you can't capture the same things. Of course, some things will be easier to adapt, but usually they just throw it to the wind and change a lot of things, which I guess they have to do because they can't adapt the source material. And what's the point of adapting the source material one to one? Just go see the source material. But at the same time, if it's indistinguishable, if it's unrecognizable, then there's almost no point in doing it. Or maybe just take the same world and have a new story with different characters. Or have a grounded story with maybe some fantastical characters. Like, hey, maybe it's Goku who's trying to at the office trying to get a job or something like that. Or Goku learning to drive. You could easily do that as opposed to intergalactic battles, but that's neither here nor there. But all I'm saying is it's usually done in a lazy way, and it's also done in a way that doesn't really appease the fans. I know some live action adaptations are kind of accepted by people that aren't too familiar with the series. And I guess that's the point because it allows people to like get connected to what they may not have given attention before, like with the One Piece one. But I still feel like if you're gonna dedicate time to watching like a diluted version of something, go watch the original, or honestly, just go watch something else. That's how I feel about all these reboots and stuff. Instead of just watching these reboots, go make something else. Go watch something else, cause that's what I'm gonna do. They're gonna say like, "Oh, we're bringing this back." Like, I'm not gonna. I'm not. And this kind of goes the same for video games too, but in a different sense. I'm not gonna waste my time watching something that's probably gonna be crap. I'm gonna go watch something else. I'm gonna let the people that watch everything go watch it, and they're gonna report back like, "Oh, this was shit like we thought." And I'm like, "Okay, I made the right decision." There's just so much good stuff. There's no point in like falling for the nostalgia bait. It'd be different if the nostalgia bait was like proper and like on the money and it lived up to your expectations, but rarely does it. So honestly, just go find something else that's already been said that's good, or find something else you enjoy instead of like trying to cling. I guess that's kind of like why they do this stuff. People are trying to cling to a hold on. People are trying to cling to like a past time to where they were kids or they had less responsibilities, and that's why these shows seem so great. But in reality, it was the time and not really what you saw. So I think just find better stuff now. Anyways, that was kind of a tangent, but onto the art. So this is what I was working on last. It's Loki from One Piece. If that doesn't make sense, don't worry about it. This was the last thing I drew before that, or actually, not the actually last thing, but this is the last major project I drew before that. Musashi Miyamoto from Vagabond. I was thinking I'd add Vagabond down here, but I've just kind of been lazy and I already signed it, so maybe that's not possible right now. But maybe. No, I'm probably not going to do it. Once I finish something, I usually don't go back to it. And then I have the other latest two projects, which was Mr. Trunks. Apparently not Trunks Briefs. His last name isn't Briefs. Because Bulma doesn't have a last name. Her name is just Bulma, supposedly. So this Trunks, the drink. I really should have put here, I'm the drink, instead of I'm here to kill you, but it is what it is. And then the five elders, or the four elders, I guess, because I didn't have no space for the worm guy. So I just had these four, which is fine. Issue I have when I draw, and that was kind of a problem drawing the Musashi Miyamoto. It's not as much of a problem here because I've been accounting for it, is I draw things to scale. So the size of the image when I'm drawing it is usually the size of the image I'm going to draw. So when I was drawing this one first, oh, you can't see, this guy first, I made him too big, and I hadn't accounted that all these other guys would be just as big. So what I should have done was scale the image down that I was looking at. That way this would have been smaller too. But maybe even push this guy to the side as well. Because my whole plan was to make the exact frame or panel I was looking at. So let's say this is an entire manga page right here. It's like a 2-page spread, I think. Yeah, it's like a 2-page spread. So this would be like this panel alone, right? So going from this edge of the page to stopping here with this panel. However, what I ended up doing instead of drawing the whole panel is because I started here and ran out of room instead of making things smaller so I could fit everything. That's fine. So I guess in the future when I want to draw multiple characters, I should probably sketch out a rough idea where they're each going to be. What I kind of did first was draw him to his totality in pencil, and then draw him to his totality in pencil, and then this one and this one, and then ink over all of them. This took like, I don't even know, bro, like 10 hours, something like that. That's what I like about drawing. It lets you focus on like one thing for a long period of time. I'm usually someone that has, well, even when I draw, I do it. I like watch something, but I like doing things all together for like hours on end. So I'll sit down and draw for 10 hours if it means I finish. But yeah, but those are things I drew this year. I got stuff from like, I don't even know how long ago. Like this right here. I think I drew this in middle school. This is from Hitman Reborn. This is Suna. I drew this on this random notebook I had, so the quality isn't too good because the paper isn't too good. But I really fell in love with drawing black and white, and also including some gray. But I didn't really start using pens yet to keep the color and the consistency throughout the years. So it's kind of faded because it's been a long time since I drew it. Oh, and I even wrote my Instagram handle where I post all my art. right there on his badge, Diablo King 41. I'll put it in the description so you guys can check it out. That's pretty much where most of my art is. Not all. I've been drawing forever, and I only started posting like 10th grade. And also, I draw a lot of things I don't post. Like, I also played around with different things. Like, this is just some random stuff. Just doing shapes and colors and all that. Because a lot of people would make fun of me because I never colored anything. Another travesty of drawing in pencil. It just fades over the years. This is like an old sketchbook from high school. But, like, I actually came full circle with this guy. I just watched this anime recently. But I drew this, like, in junior year of high school. And then, which is like, what, 5 years ago? And then some Iron Man thing. Godzilla. The ring I had. Some, like, skull guy, if you can see it. Yeah, but that's cooked. So let me, what's the throw the notebook away? Let's see. Then it's like the Battlefield dude. I added some color to it. I started doing that where I added just a little bit of color to everything. But, yeah. Some space guy. A car. That car isn't too detailed though. I was just drawing it fast. Yeah, Saitama. Yeah, this is by the time I had started including ink. Yeah, I'm proud of this one. I like how accurate it is to what I was drawing it from. And that's why I kind of judge what it is or how I do. Not necessarily if it's good, but how accurate it is. So even if it's a good drawing, like the Miyamoto Musashi or this, it's not as accurate. Because if I were to compare this to the original, I could show you where all the places that I changed. Not all the places I messed up because art is art, but all the places I changed in order to make it proper. This is probably one of my more proud ones. I've added the color and the marker over time, so it didn't always look like this. But at first it was just black and white ink. But yeah, this took forever. But I was super proud when I finished this one. This right here, Guts and his Berserker armor, crazy. So I'm really proud of this one. But like I said, I added the ink later and even the color in the eyes because I was playing around more. And also once the art is finished, like, what else are you going to do with it? So if I messed it up afterwards, it's fine, but I did that. I like how it looks. See, now, you saw all the quality of that stuff. This is me when I'm drawing on my own. Like, all I know how to draw really is muscles. So, some alien guy in space. I have no formal art training, so I don't really know how to draw anything that I like can imagine in my head. I don't know any like techniques or whatever. Just make shapes. But yeah, this is all I can do on my own. So it's rather a drastic change, I should say. Here's another one, Galactus. At first, this one was also black and white, but then I colored it over. I think it looks even better colored over, but it also looked pretty good black and white. But yeah, Galactus. I'm also really proud of this one. I haven't seen this one in a minute, especially when it comes to the color. I'm okay. Before I learned he was a freak. JK. But not really. And then, what else I got in here? Oh, this is one of my buddies I drew. Shout out the boy. But, what else I got? I don't know why, but I just saw an electric chair. I think it was for something. It almost looks like he's Aizen sitting on his little thing, but yeah. I was trying to draw like a David and Goliath type thing. But again, this is like on my own. So again, all I know how to draw is muscles. I don't know how to draw clothes, hair, hands even. Like if you look at the hands. Or swords, if you look at the sword. Just muscles, man. What else do I got in here? Yeah. I like this one too because I incorporated color without incorporating a bunch of color. Says I was coming from like just drawing black and white, and then maybe in 10th high school, junior year, that's when I started trying to draw in color or with color. So I just added the color to the black and white. I think it looks pretty cool, even with the unfinished part. Because I get lazy sometimes. I almost did that with Misashi, but I actually finished that. But yeah, I added the color. I think it makes it look a lot better. Let me bring it a little bit closer. Yeah, there we go. Dragging these nuts on your. Never mind. But yeah, made half of it color, half of it not. I think the non-colored side looks better, but it's probably because I didn't have as much shading with the color. So I messed up on this one. I drew my friend's dog, but I added color in the afterwards. Maybe it doesn't look too bad. It actually doesn't look as bad as I think it does. Mostly, I don't have any coloring skills either, so I think when it comes to coloring uh, real life images, it's a little bit harder because there's just so many colors that goes into something like that. And I was also coloring over the black and white pencil that I did. But hold on, I got more stuff. Yeah, I won't show you guys that. Here's one. Jane Foster's store. I was in an art contest with one of my buddies, and we both drew the same thing. I guess, well, I'll let you think who won, but here it is. What else do I got? Here it is. Alright, let's see. I drew Sasuke, and again I added color to it later on. It didn't look like that originally, but not too much color, just a little bit. This is probably from early high school. And then I colored it later on. This is a character I created. I made a lot of characters throughout the years. I kind of designed them to be similar to Mori Jin, if you're familiar with God of High School. But I just thought Helios was a cool name, giving him some fire powers. Then Mick giving him like a chill personality and an eye patch. And then like some fun hair. And if you're familiar with webtoons or webcomics or manhwa, this style right here where you see his eyes glow and his hair kind of go crazy is from Gosu. But yeah, he's supposed to be like some kind of just a chill, just a chill guy, but some kind of like good. It's usually like carefree, happy-go-lucky as you see with his Hawaiian shirt on, like Uncle Ben from Ben 10, nonchalant kind of guy, lazy even. But when it's time to do stuff, he can. I think he's gonna be like a mentor figure type stuff. Here's some good goats right here. I got stuck together for no particular reason. Arnold, I didn't draw his face because I got lazy again, or I started to. I kept messing up, so I was like, it doesn't matter. So just the body. It's actually, I think people can recognize him even without the face. That's how I know I did a good job. So that's Arnold. And here's the other goat. It's Bruce Lee. I did it. Again, I had trouble capturing his face, but I captured the muscles. So I think it's still pretty good. Drawing people is a lot harder because people aren't made of lines. But you gotta kind of have to like find the lines in the people, And also not draw so solidly. That's kind of like why it's kind of why I like to draw muscles because they are pretty defined lines. Like it's gonna be difficult to draw like someone's hair because the texture just goes crazy and there's no solid lines. And maybe your face too. Like aside, if you just draw some eyebrows, you still can't really properly capture what the forehead will look like. If you see like these little dents in my forehead, how would you draw that? You'd have to like shade to properly capture those. But if you want to draw freaking like traps, that shit's easy. It's a lot easier. Like there's and the more ripped someone is, the more detail their body has. So there's more lines to draw. So it's so much easier. Got some more heat for y'all. What's this? Oh, this is a project I did. So this is for U.S. history, and I did like there's a bunch of different art in here. So a lot of it is me personally trying to draw, or not necessarily that. There's lots of different. Yeah, me personally trying to draw. So like here I drew some sugar. You know it's sugar because I wrote sugar on it. But I also drew like America part of it. Whatever that is, I can't read it. Ben Franklin. I was being lazy. I didn't put too much into it. What does he say? Stinks? Unity. Bruh. I can't read backwards. And some flags. Britain versus France. Right? Yeah, French and Indian War. But then there are more pieces to where I put some more effort in. So I drew like the seal for the Stamp Act, or the famous picture of the Boston Massacre right here. And then the one I put the most effort into. See, you can have low effort drawings, but with a collection of multiple ones, they start to like go crazier. So I have this is probably the most, aside from the bottom ones, probably the best drawing. I have the Boston Tea Party. So that's the ship burning down right there. And all these are reference images. None of them I drew off my top of my head. Oh wait, no, that's the Gatsby affair. Huh. Never mind. I don't remember what that was. The Battle of Lexington and Concord and the first Congressional Congress. So the battle here, just the guys on the bridge or whatever. And then the Congress. And then I have the Common Sense by, what was his name? Thomas something, right? Let's see, did I draw that? Was it like Thomas Paine? Common Sense? Y'all history buffs, check me. But then I drew this. So that got the most effort. The second Congressional or Continental Congress. But yeah. So I had lots of fun making this. That's what I kind of miss about school. Not just the learning aspect, but the times when you got to put like your talents to use, aside from just, hey, study this or memorize this, but you know, The Witcher or Henry Cavill. Again, I colored his eyes in later, which I think actually brings out a different kind of vibe to the picture. But it used to just be black and white. This is one of my most proudest real people drawings. But the thing about drawing him was he had a bunch of lines, and also the picture I was drawing had a lot of shadow on it. So it was really easy to draw. So as you can see, his jaws, lines, every hair on his face, that's something I can draw. His lips are something I can draw. The nose. And also the fact that there's blank space of just white because of the contrast in the original picture. I don't really know any art terms for real, so I'm just trying to describe things the best I know. But so the picture, the contrast and the lighting. So let's say the heavy shadow on part of his face and then pretty much the brightness allows me to use my pencil to then darken these areas and then leave this white space white and to almost show like there's a light shining on him. So that's pretty cool. And of course the eyebrows and stuff I can draw. Some slight creases in the forehead. But the hair is where I kind of fell apart. Because hair is incredibly difficult to draw. Because it's like trying to draw strands with a pencil. It's almost impossible, but I still think I did a decent job. And it gets even harder when the hair has light shining on it. Luckily for him, his hair is white, but if the hair is black, that can make it a lot harder. So here's John from An Ordinary. Y'all rock with that. This one wasn't colored at all either. No, I think I went ahead and colored this as soon as I finished it. But I think it looks pretty cool. Then Pickle Rick. I'm a Pickle Morty. A Super Pickle Rick with his rat enhancements. Then if y'all are familiar with Solo Leveling, can't remember his name, but I think it's Bach. So it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. This is another one of my drawings that I just kind of drew on my own. It was me as a stand user, and I kind of used Robot Boy in the back. So in high school, I used to always carry a blanket with me. So that's why I had this blanket. And then the muscles, because in high school I was also buff, so that's why I have the muscles. And then I JoJo-fied my face, my glasses. Very cool. Drew a dragon. Dragging these nuts on you. Never mind. This is another one I really liked. I kind of did something similar with Luffy, but I think I have a printout of it, actually. I started doing that where if I gave someone a drawing, I made a copy of it and kept it for myself. So I kept the copy and I gave them the original. So this is what I did with Goku. It's another collage. I got my Master Ultra Instinct. I got Super Saiyan Blue, Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan 3, Goku, Super Saiyan 2, and Super Saiyan 1. Different art styles, pretty much, for each one. Like, pretty sure this came from the Dragon Ball Super manga. This came from these two came from the anime, maybe. I think this one also came, no, these two came from the manga. This one also probably came from the manga. This is also from the Super movie. When I think against Broly, or one of the publications. I can't even see. Yeah, from one of the movies. This one's the Sarama Super Anime. As you can probably tell, kind of. You can almost see the color, or where the color is supposed to be in the image. And then this is also from the anime, but different part of it. So yeah. I like how this one turned out too. But as you can see, since it's been drawn in just lead, the quality has been lost over the years, and the picture's gotten ruined. I mean, I should make copies of just everything, but it's hard to photocopy just pencil. So, but like I said, I have pictures on my Instagram if you want to see them in better quality. I think I drew these in middle school. This is Toriko. This is Grimmjow. Can't be it, is it? No, it's not. Fuck with it. This is another like character I just made. I think I had watched Devilman Crybaby, so I got a similar idea. It's like taking a character that kind of looks wimpy. I mean, it's also kind of seen in Dan 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 too. Taking a character that kind of looks wimpy and frail to then like gaining some kind of secret power that changes both their body and also their mood. So his hair changes. Like I try to make him the same, but also not. So let me show you. So his hair changes. Like he has like a curly perm or whatever. So he has a curly perm. The only thing is also he has a scar on his chest. I forgot the reason I did that, but he has a scar on his chest. This is him in his uniform, school uniform. But then, can y'all see it? Alright, there it is. Curly perm like type thing, afro type thing, school uniform, scar on the chest. But then, this is what he looks like after he gets his powers. Same, I try to make the face very similar, the eyes very similar. Like, I try to make it as similar as possible, but just kind of more aged up. And then his style changes. He stops wearing the jacket, only wears the shirt, and he unbuttons the top, rolls up the sleeves, that type of thing. I think I got more art in here, do I? No? Oh, I do, yeah. It's a guy from, what's it called? Cuphead. Yeah. Uh, and then, oh, here it is. This is something from Warframe. Loki, I think. Funny enough. Another thing from Cuphead. And then this is what I mentioned earlier about making copies of my drawings. So I made a copy of this one. It's because it printed out when I drew colored pencil. The colored parts are kind of messed up, but the manga parts look almost identical to what I drew. And I know they look just like the manga, which I'm proud of, but I did indeed draw them. What else? Trunks. The yellow wasn't there at first, but I added that in later. It's like a solo Dragon Ball thing I try to draw. And try to draw a vampire-like guy. I don't remember. I was kind of also getting inspiration from Gosu here as well. Also, I think somewhere else. Can't remember from what. Ujiro Hanma. Just the back. I drew the back detail in later with the red. And then it's probably the last one. I can't really find anything else. I haven't looked. And this is actually something I drew on my own. It's probably like my most detailed solo drawing. Because I went back over it after I drawn it the first time and then added some more. I wanted to make like a buff fairy guy facing some kind of malevolent force. So that's why this thing back here is smiling with like the creepy face. But yeah, this way he has the wings. But he's ripped. So got the back muscles going. And then he has like this gauntlet thing. Then like some, I don't know, something right there. Then his legs. And yeah. I'm actually pretty proud of this. This is probably the best thing I've ever drawn, like, via my own ability. I think I had to use still some references for some aspects. I can't remember what. Maybe for the muscles on the back, how they look after you bring your arms back. Other than that, I think I mostly drew everything on my own. I like the legs too. I think I had to like really pay attention to what legs look like from behind as well. But yeah, I really like how that turned out. But I think that's it in terms of art. I don't have anything else I'm seeing. I've drawn more stuff, but I just want access to them because I've either given them away, lost them, or other stuff like that. But yeah, I'm gonna put the Instagram in the description where you can see all the art and then some more. Also see them in better versions of themselves. But yeah, that's it. About to get to the gym, so I'll have another gym video probably up tomorrow. I'll post this today, so that there's something here today. And then I should be going live today as well, so stay tuned for that. I'll put the Discord in the description as well, so you guys can call into that. That's really it.